The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Hello and welcome to the set of The Gloves Are Off. We are back for another edition. The glove dropping action is about to begin. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Coach Brian Curran from the Lloydminster Bobcats. Welcome back to the set, Brian.
It's good that you didn't say anything about the games. We'll talk about that later.
No.
But it's good to be back on the show. We can rip the team later on.
We're not going to rip the team.
I
There will
might.
be no ripping.
No,
Okay,
I'm
you
kidding.
might. All right, well, speaking of teams, we have another team member here on the set today. Joining us for the first time, Coach Peter Sambu from the Lakeland Rustlers men's basketball team. How you doing, Coach?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
And what are you looking forward to about being on set here? Lots of good stuff coming out of the college these days in basketball.
It's exciting times. To just glad to be here with Coach Curran and yourself. Be here
Okay.
with the experts.
All right.
More than two of us.
Oh, yeah, I don't count for much. I'm just here to mediate the conversation.
That's exactly what we talked about
Yes.
before.
Well, first up, today is the first day. I'm sure some of these San Francisco Giants have some hangovers, but big World Series win for them. First time in 56 years. Did you guys watch the game? What'd you think?
Go ahead.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The excitement and just unbelievable for that franchise. 56 years. Great to see.
And
Great
for
to
the
see.
fans, too, I mean, Tim Lincecum put on an unbelievable show.
He sure
I
did.
thought it was going to be a little bit more of a showdown, though. I really did. It was a little disappointing quickly.
Renteria MVP.
Yes.
I'm not liking that call.
No?
The pitching, Lincecum, their pitching staff, I thought someone for sure.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Texas couldn't even hit.
Nope, they didn't.
He
3 hits.
struggled.
Lincecum allowed 3 hits in 8 innings.
You know, is he going to cut his hair? I hope he does.
You know what? We should tell him that. Tim Lincecum, if you are watching, pull a Scott Hartnell. Cut your hair. Call up Locks of Love. That's
there
a good
you go.
idea.
See, good thinking.
See, we're
Harvey.
brainstorming.
But
This
he is
great.
one talented young man.
He
boy,
is.
I, tell
I
you,
wanted
live
Texas
arm.
to win, by the way,
You
Did you?
did?
but I wanted it to go 7 games. I thought it was a great series.
Yeah.
Great series.
Good luck, good for San Francisco. Neither one of my teams was in there, but you know what? I really liked the pitching, and it got off to a rough start the very first matchup. That was the tough one. We got the matchup last night. Lee and
Yes.
Lincecum. That was much better.
And Brian Wilson after the game. I like that. I want to rage right now.
Who's the guy with the beard?
That's Wilson.
Oh yeah, man, he
Yes.
was like Rocky Balboa.
He
Yo,
was.
Adrian.
He was awesome. Okay, we have to talk about a little bit of controversy brewing in the NHL next. After Colton Orr, that awful missed call, really. Florida Panthers GM Dave Talon says he wants to implement the coach's challenge rule in the NHL. We were talking a little bit about this off camera. Seems like we're all on board.
I agree. I think there's a chance. A lot of referees are human. They're going to miss calls, and sometimes those calls are game changers. So, for a coach to be able to challenge it, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea.
Brian, I have a feeling you'd be able to challenge it.
I'm just debating whether I want to say what I was actually going to say right there, because
Nope,
he said they're
spit it out.
actually, they're human, and I was like, really? But I mean, I've got some really good friends that referees, so whatever. They got a tough job, and they do miss things. It's not. I mean, they're human. They're going to make mistakes just like we do. I love it. I think it can only be a one-time thing. That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's bring it in. It should be in.
Well,
in
14
this one.
coaches voted in favor of it, so it sounds like it's going to at least be brought up at the meeting in November.
Do
So
they
we'll
throw a
have to-
flag or a puck?
Oh, I don't know. What would you throw? You'd be throwing whatever in close
Water cooler.
proximity. Yeah, I'd be
Water
scared.
cooler.
So, do you think one challenge per period, or
Yeah.
one challenge period for the whole game?
Maybe one.
One.
Well, we have to move on. Sounds like we kind of agree on one. We got to talk a little basketball now. Chris Bosch. I'm calling this one Bosch bashing because once again the guy opens his mouth. Can you not just play basketball and stop speaking about Toronto and being misquoted? Maybe he should just stop speaking altogether because he always seems to be misquoted. I'm tired of it.
Well, I think he broke the hearts of the people in Toronto, but this is a business, and people have to understand that guys are all about rings and money. Unfortunately, this is the way it is. So
And you think that's what Chris Bosch is all about? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, but I think he left Toronto because maybe they weren't going in the direction that he wanted to see them
Okay.
go. He wanted a chance at maybe a ring a little quicker. But I do agree that he needs to stop
And maybe
talking.
some warmer weather in
And more
Miami.
warmer
But you
weather.
know what? We talked way back about Bosch before. 2 things. Number one, he did do it he has to be selfish. You don't get a lot of chances in life to win and play with star players like those two. He never bashed. To me, he actually liked Toronto. It wasn't really about Toronto. It was more about, I'm young, the money, no question. But the chance to play with those 2 players, wow. I mean, I'm not going to say you're guaranteed, but you better win a championship in the next couple of years.
Oh, I
because-
think the heat is on.
Yeah, and guess what? You know what? Good for him. Shut up, though. Really, shut up.
Yeah, let's move on.
Move on.
We will move on. Next, let's talk about Brian Kern's favorite golfer, who is no longer ranked number 1 in the world. Lee Westwood has come up and taken over top spot. Were we surprised, though?
I'm not. After
Yeah.
what he's been through, it's taxing on anybody. So, and he even says it
Look
himself.
at the sad look on Brian Kern's face.
There's no sad look. It's more of, you know what? I love the fact he accepts it easily. Like, we're the ones who build it up. You.
Me? I do
the
no
press
such thing.
build it up. There's no question about it. You know, he is not upset, disappointed in himself more than anything. I think, as I've said before, Tiger Woods to me is the best mental athlete in all of sports. I will say that. Look what he went through, self-done, but I mean, self-imposed. But you know what? He knows he didn't deserve to have number 1. He had it for 5 years, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it back within a year.
I agree. He's that.
You
mentally
think he
tough.
will reclaim it?
He'll reclaim it.
All right, well, we will reclaim our Dump and Change segment when we return after the break. We do have to take a commercial break, but stay tuned. We'll be back with
He
a
will
whole
shut
lot
up the
more.
naysayers. He will shut them up.
Okay, all right. Brian Kern's calling it. Stay tuned.
I got
We'll
the
be back
fingers
with Dump and Change.